this lab here will be using time signals.
5, 4, and on down. 30 seconds, 15, last 5.
And then as soon as you're done, we'll applaud, and then the cross-examination will come from Bryant there. So.
What economy continues to grow stronger each year, and by the year 2030 will be one of the top 3 markets in the world? If you guessed America, you wouldn't be wrong, but India will be joining them. According to Reuters, on February 11th, 2016, it was stated that their Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, is focusing on business expansion, specifically with a goal to increase their gross domestic product, or GDP, by nearly 8% each year. Consequently, with this lofty goal in front of India, they are going to need some economic help along their journey. Specifically, as according to the New York Times on February 10th, 2016, it was stated that India will be able to attain their goal, if indeed they have some foreign investors in their own pocket. Consequently, many are wondering who exactly will be the best market to invest in within the future, which leads us to our question today. What emerging market nation looks to be the best investment bet for the next few years? We can find that our answer is India, because of their focus on economic expansion, and for 3 key reasons. Initially, because their government is focusing on building more businesses. Second, because they're open to more economic partnerships. And finally, we will analyze how they are dedicated to clean energy. Initially, we must understand that India is trying to focus on expanding their market, so hopefully one day they can be one of the top 3 markets in the world. In order for them to do this, they have to start at their own home base with their businesses, which is why we have to discuss our first key point, how the government is wanting to expand their own local businesses. Initially, at the beginning of this year, Narendra Modi stated that he wanted to focus on small businesses, as well as more businesses that can trade internationally. As according to The Economist on February 10th, 2016, it was stated that new businesses that will begin in 2016 will be able to come in at a lower tax bracket, in turn, allowing for them to have the most optimal progress for success in the future. Consequently, because they will be able to have the best ability to succeed as a new business, they can indeed be able to reach their GDP goal by the end of this year. Additionally, the government is also focusing on special industries that never go out of style, specifically technology. As according to the Chicago Tribune on February 11, 2016, it was stated that the government is taking special interest in business sectors that focus on technology, as it will not only draw in more foreign investors, but also be a long-lasting business that India can focus on within the future. Consequently, because they will be able to create new businesses by allowing for a lower tax bracket, but also create long-lasting businesses that focus on technology, India is the best bet for investing in a new market for the next few years, as they are not only creating a stable market for 2016, but will continue to do so as the years go by. Consequently, we can understand that India will be the best bet for foreign investors. Next, we can understand that as India is growing, they're also trying to focus on how they can best use their own resources. We can specifically see this how they are open to new economic partnerships. Just as in any economy, they want to have the most trade deals with anybody. As according to the Los Angeles Times on February 11, 2016, while India has had focused trading with the United States and China, they plan to expand this trading all throughout Asia, as well as expand trading with their current partners. This will allow for them to have a greater progress in their economic markets, and in turn, allow for even more investors to be drawn to their country. As according to the Forbes on February 8, 2016, it was stated that they will be able to expand their markets by nearly 8 to 9%, by focusing clearly on international communications as well as their own partnerships. For this reason, by allowing for them to focus on their own trading with other countries and expanding it, they will be able to expand not only their own markets, but create a clear market for the future. Consequently, because India is not only focusing on how they can expand their markets today, but also continue to progress it in the future, we can see that for the next few years, India is the best emerging market to invest in, as it will allow for the greatest expansion in economics. Finally, we can understand that as India is expanding, they're also going to have trouble with carbon emissions, just as any other nation is today. Therefore, it is critically important that we focus on our third and last point, how they are dedicated to clean energy. As Kermit the Frog so astutely put it, it's not easy being green. But India plans to focus on being green in the incoming years, as according to the Los Angeles Times on February 12, 2016, if India continues to expand at their current point, by the year 2030, they will produce more than 1.3 billion tons of carbon emission per person. This is a drastic number and could cause health problems for everyone around the nation. But in order to curb this, the government has decided to create new plans that will incline members to have more economic stability through green energy. As according to the New York Times on February 11, 2016, it was stated that Narendra Modi plans to give more tax breaks to businesses that use clean energy and invest in clean energy, and will tax businesses who use more crude oil. In turn, he will cause a higher incentive for businesses that are emerging within the market to also focus on clean energy, which is critically important for investors. As according to the Chicago Tribune on February 12, 2016, it was stated that investors in the future are looking to clean energy efforts because it will become more of the norm rather than crude oil and will become less taboo among people. Consequently, because the nation is dedicated to clean energy efforts, they will in turn be able to create a better market for themselves and make themselves more marketable to international investors. Therefore, they are the best market to invest in because they are focusing on clean energy, which will be around for the next couple of years. So today, we examine the question, what emerging market nation looks to be the best investment for the next few years? We found that our answer was India because of their focus on economic expansion, and for 3 key reasons. Initially, we understood how the government is focused on creating more businesses. Second, we understood how they are open to new economic partnerships. And finally, we analyzed how they are also dedicated to clean energy. So while by the year 2030, America still plans to be top dog in the economics, the reality is they may have a new buddy by their side, India, because of their focus on not only expanding their own markets, but also making them more applicable in the international community. By making themselves more marketable, they will create a lasting market and economy for a lifetime.
Good job, Allegra. I think I have like 3 questions. I liked your first point about expanding the businesses. So you mentioned that they would lower taxes for the small businesses so they could expand. Could you elaborate on how they plan to improve the technology in the business sectors, what they would do for incentives? Or?
Yes. So they're specifically focusing on the technology sector, and they will be giving tax breaks, as I stated. But because they are doing that, and the government has specifically issued a statement that, hey, we're doing this specific for technology, in turn, more businesses are inclined to focus on technology because that's what the government wants to see out of businesses.
All right. Second, you had some excellent points about how they would communicate internationally and try for expansion there. Who do you think would be like the best international investor for them to go after?
It would probably be better to expand their trading with China because it would be both mutually beneficial for both China and India, as right now China is in an economic recession. So a better trade partner with India or a better trade partnership will help them on both ends.
All right, absolutely. And my last point, when you talked about clean energy and why investors would value this kind of thing, why do you think investors are inclined for this sustainable green energy versus more traditional oil and coal fuel sources?
I think specifically right now they're so focused on clean energy because oil hasn't been doing well recently. It's been especially lowered within the past few months, and it doesn't look like it will rise anytime soon. Additionally, clean energy is the future, and more people will be investing in it. Therefore, it's a long-term investment rather than oil in the past.
All right, well, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Good job.